Let me leave politicians.
I had to expect that.
Do commissions of inquiry add value in our judiciary or in our democratic society? Since 1994, have they played any significant role which helped ordinary people to receive justice?
Of the few that I can think of, I cannot think of something that has tangibly redounded to the benefit of people. I cannot think of any. Thank you, Minister.
Commissioner Malema.
So, Justice.
Good afternoon.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon, Commissioner.
No, I didn't want to come in now, but you raised a point earlier about, which was raised by the acting president, about the huge criticism on the Constitutional Court, its inability to deliver judgments on time, right? And you came here and said, well, you are correct, we are unable to deliver on time, but this is what is going through. So if I say the Constitutional Court doesn't deliver judgments on time and all that, and I'm a layman, I'm not inside there, will I be attacking the court, or will I be justifiable to say the Constitutional Court is delayed in delivering its judgment? Would it not take a good judge and a good leadership to accept that, no, you are correct, but the reality of the situation is that this is what we are confronted with? But some short-sighted politicians may see that as an attack on the judiciary, because I liked what you said earlier on. No, you are correct. We take long, but this is what we have been subjected to. And in responding to that, this is what we're coming up with to resolve that problem. But some myopic leaders here have been actually attacking those who say Constitutional Court takes long to deliver judgments. Is that an attack, or is it a constructive criticism?
That's constructive criticism. Had I not been taken off my script on my vision by the acting president, asking me questions that relate exactly to this, in my note here, in my opener, dealing exactly with that point, Commissioner Malema, in so many words, I say.
In 2022, Malema argued that commissions protect politicians, that they are designed to create the appearance of accountability while delivering none of it, that lawyers get paid and ordinary people get nothing. In 2026, a commission is playing secret recordings made in safe houses. A senior general is confessing to deliberate perjury. A murder network is being mapped in public for the first time. And the name Julius Malema, the man who made that argument, is on one of those recordings. The commission he said could not work is working. The accountability he said never comes has arrived. And it arrived with his name attached to it. History has a precise and unforgiving sense of irony.
Unprompted by Witness A, you tell Witness A about this group of 5 business people, and I say business people in inverted commas or open close brackets, and then you say to him, there is this Zay who's involved in the taxi business, again unprompted, and then now you go to General Sibiya and you say, you see, this person is close to General Sibiya, and General Sibiya is close to Julius Malema. And then this is the important part on page 67, line 15. You say, so I know even when he says I must come, meaning when General Sibiya says, you must come to my party, he wants to ask me, yes, I have sent you, so now what is happening whatsoever? So that himself, and I know that he's looking for it, he's not looking for it to take it to NESCOM. Witness A says yes, and then you say he's looking for it.
At the time of the call with General Shabiri, witness B and I were already in the safe house. We did not know who we could trust, and at this stage I was already unsure of General Shabiri's motives. The Commission will recall that I testified that I was still willing to give General Shabiri the benefit of the doubt. However, the arrest of Mr. Katiso Molefe on 6 December 2024 made us more suspicious of those who would inquire about the Swart murder case, and in particular, Mr. Molefe's arrest. When General Shabiri called, witness B and I had no intention of recording the call. The call started out casually, but at some point General Shabiri mentioned that he had been invited to General Sibiya's plot for a birthday celebration. At that moment, we decided to record the call.
At page 67 of the transcript, you say, yes, there is this other guy, his name is Z, he's also staying in Sandton, he's a Zulu guy, the tall one, so you know him, you know that he's tall, you know that he's a Zulu guy, you know that he stays in Sandton, you have that information. And then you then say, and then he is close to Malema. That's you saying that in the telephone call. So Malema is close to Sibiya, you see. So you've created, firstly, you know the person. You describe who Ze is, not just by name. You say he's that tall guy, so you know something about him. But you also know that he's close to Mr. Malema. That's what you say. And then you say, and Malema in 10.
I was once in the office of the general. There were a female and a Chinese guy who came to report about a case of vandalism at the mine in Northern Cape, and he indicated he is a business partner with Zenuma. And that is when I heard the name in that office. So suggesting that they might be knowing it, he might be knowing him because they came to his office to report. And Mr. Malema, I indicated that yes, sometimes he sent me to attend to certain cases and said.
So when you said it was his side of the subspection, you were lying to the Commission.
I will take that.
No, I'm asking you, don't take anything. Were you lying to the Commission when you said it is the one faction within SAPS? Were you lying to this Commission?
No, I was thinking also about the faction, but I don't have facts to support that.
No. You said you read this transcript. Chair asked you, did you read the transcript? You said both the Zulu and the English version.
Yes.
And you knew you were going to be asked about this. So you came here prepared. When you were asked the question, who is the other side that is mentioned on page 67? When Advocate Ngube asked the question, you said it's the other faction within SAPS. 2 minutes later, Commissioner Baloyi asks you the same question, you say it's the family. That can only mean your first answer was not truthful. Was it not truthful?
When I said the faction?
Yes.
Yes.
So I must take it that you have lied to this Commission and consequences should flow from that.
Justice Madlanga, as you speak about learning these administrative components that we may not be aware of, I put another 6 months to 1 year of you learning that into these 3 years. And then I put another 3 to 6 months of you learning in the outside world how the budget works. And you are left now with 1 year, 6 months before you do the actual thing, just learning. Because if you ask us, politicians, when you are Zoom office, the most difficult thing, she's there, she's a speaker. She is not old in that position. For sure, she's still grappling with a lot of small detail. Some she even gets shocked, oh, he's done this way or that way. By the time she becomes well equipped as a speaker, it's 2024, we're going to elections. Because to learn administration must never be confused to be meaning some simple thing, or you are just going to arrive at an office where you are going to be welcomed with both hands. You are going to have to learn these people and do all manner of things, which I thought Justice Madlanga, you would have done some small research, even if you are a junior. Not junior, I don't want to call you such things. What would judge, not in the office of Chief Justice, but an ordinary judge.
Yes.
But preparing for this type...
It's not puny, not at the level of the
Yes.
Constitutional Court.
Yeah, so
sorry, Commissioner Malema.
as an ordinary judge,
Yes.
who's now preparing to go into that office, you would have said to us, apart from this that is described in the Constitution and the norms and standard and all of that, these are the issues administratively we're going to have to deal with. And on matters of budget, you would have also looked at what happened to the previous Chief Justice and what are the issues that you want to take up immediately when you take over. Because we don't want to hear of a scandal of corruption coming out of the office of the Chief Justice, because our Chief Justice doesn't know how the budget in that office operate. In that 6 months when you are still trying to learn, you know these people of South Africa, already they've approved the IT tender. It's gone and it's not done properly. So, because I'm going to raise these points when we retreat on Saturday, that I'm worried about these issues, that you are going to be this good judge and get destroyed by this small detail that you have not given yourself sufficient time to acclimatize yourself with or have an idea of how you are going to deal with it, because it's very big. It might be small, but it's a very big operation which makes that office run on a daily basis.
On the first issue about the possibility of a long time being taken, finding out what happens in other jurisdictions with regard to the budget, I would say that the time cannot be long at all. I mean, if appointed, I will have ready access to Chief Justices in other countries, pick up the phone and just ask the question, pick up the phone, talk to another Chief Justice. Within a few days, you have the information readily at hand. For example, I said earlier that we found what the situation is with regard to turnaround times for handing down judgments by apex courts. We were tasked by our colleagues to do this, to work on the working procedures, revise the working procedures of the Constitutional Court. Second half of last year, by the 5th of December, we already had a completed document, which of course we are just crossing the T's, dotting the I's on now, but we're able to pull out one recommendation for immediate implementation. But even there, we had to go out to other jurisdictions on information, and we were able to come out with a document within a very short space of time. Second half, by December, we have something ready. And on this one, and if I'm Chief Justice, I will be able to just pick up the phone. Who controls the budget and how? Even on the second one, Commissioner, I do not share your view that it would take a terribly long time for me to get around the question of I have interacted with the Secretary General in contexts that, of course, have nothing to do with being Chief Justice, which I am not. And the Secretary General is very cooperative, very supportive to the judiciary. Immediately upon appointment, I would set up an appointment with her, and she would take me through the processes. And I think you heard me when I was talking earlier about getting up to speed on. I even rattled off a few principles, in the sort of areas of law that we as black people would not be exposed to talking about inutility, lack of innovativeness, and so on and so on. Things that you would be getting to hear about now for the first time. But you would quickly, get on top of them and be able to participate effectively. And even when a case is argued before the court, you saw this for the first time now, you read the papers, you went outside of the papers, did your own research quickly, and in court you are able to engage advocates sensibly and meaningfully. So even with this, I do not believe that for me it would be something that would take me 6 months, and I do not believe it would, Commissioner.
My last question is,
In 2022, Julius Malema sat as a commissioner and interviewed Justice Madlanga for the position of Chief Justice. He challenged him on accountability, on commissions, on results, on courage, on integrity. Madlanga answered every question directly and without political qualification. In 2026, Justice Madlanga chairs the Commission of Inquiry into SAP's corruption and organized crime infiltration. At that commission, a secret recording was played in which Major General Richard Shibiri, the suspended head of organized crime, connects Julius Malema to suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrach Sibia and a criminal network linked to a murder. The same general then confessed to deliberately falsifying his witness statement, then threatened the commission's own lawyers about their children, then prayed publicly that the recording would not be heard. The man who asked whether commissions deliver accountability is now the subject of one. The judge who said yes to integrity is delivering it. The recording that was not supposed to exist has been heard by the whole country.